Hi, this is a video for Apex 4.2.3. This is about graphs of lines in slope-intercept form. So the first thing you need to know is that the graph of a line is the set of all points that are solutions to that equation. So if you see this line, this is the graph of y equals x plus 1. Any point on the line is a solution to that. So let's take this point 4, 5 right here, 4, 5. That means that that point is an answer to that equation. So let's check that. So 4, 5 means that x is 4 and y is 5. So let's put the 5 where the y is, and the 4 where the x is. So it says 5 equals 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, so 5 equals 5. Check. So that just means every single point on that line is an answer to that equation. Okay, so let's talk about parts of a line. So y-intercept is, let me get one. Okay, y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So see, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. This graph in particular touches right here. That is the point 0, 1. It is also visible in the plus 1 part of the equation, this part right here. That is why that's a positive 1. Slope is known as the rate of change, rise over run, or it's the m part of the equation. So you can see slope when you count up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So your slope is 1 over 1, which is 1, which is visible right here. Okay, so let's see. We have y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. B is the y-intercept. Start by graphing the y-intercept first and then counting out the slope. So for number 1, let's start with a positive 5 on the y-axis. And then we're going to count our slope, negative 5 halves. So rise is negative 5, run is 2. It's a negative slope, meaning it should look like this. So we're going to count down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 2, 1, 2, there's a point. If you can, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Connect it. That's your line. Okay, let's try this one, starting at negative 2. And our slope is what? So we see this negative x. There's always a 1 in front of the x. If you cannot see it, we just don't write it. So negative 1 is the slope, which means negative 1 over 1. You always want your whole number to be a fraction, so throwing a 1 on the bottom does that. So like if your slope was 3, it would be 3 over 1. That 1 is your run, so you want your rise and your run. So now we're going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, over and over. We can also go backwards, up 1 and the other way. So up to the left, up to the left, up to the left, up to the left, and again, and again, and again, over and over. And there's your line. Okay, question number 3, we're starting at negative 1. This time we have a positive slope, so our graph is going to go this way. Our slope is 4 over 5, so we're going to go up 4 over 5. Starting at our point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you can, you should go the other way. So we went this way, meaning that if we continue our line, it should go this way. So we're going to count down 4 and the other way 5 and connect. Okay, last one we're going to graph together. Start at negative 2. And now our slope is 5. Remember, with a whole number, you want to make it a fraction. So 5 over 1. So up 5 over 1. I don't have any more room to do another one on either side, so we'll just connect. Ooh, that was a bad line. There we go. Okay, the other thing that'll be on the quiz is just going backwards, so going from the graph to the actual equation. So before, when we were up here, we started with our y-intercept. Let's go ahead and start with that. So our graph touches the line on this one at negative 2. So it'll be y equals mx plus b. Now b is negative 2, so minus 2. We just have to figure out our slope. Slope is what goes in that little part. So what you want to do is find some nice points. So sometimes the points look like they're on the crisscross, so you want it to touch right on one of those crisscross points right there. But you want to just be careful. Make sure it actually does touch. So you can use any of those points. If you don't pick the closest point, that's fine. Your answer will just reduce. So I'm going to do it 2 different times. So one, I'm going to use this point and this point. So I went down 2. You always want to count how many you're going down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 2 over 4, which reduces to -1/2. You can see that -1/2 if you picked closer points. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. So y equals -1/2 x minus 2 is your equation. Okay, this time our y-intercept is 3. So y equals something x plus 3. And we're going to go to this point right here. Down 1 over 2. -1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Awesome. Okay, let's try this one. Our y-intercept is -2. And, oh, see, this right here is not an actual point. It kind of looks like it's close, but it's not close enough. Let's see, this one. Oops, I need the pen. This one right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Up 3 over 2. Rise over run, 3 over 2. Last one. This one's a tricky one. If you look, it's got this point right here. That's the y-intercept of 5. It's not close enough where that 4 is. And the next point is all the way down here. So 5 is our y-intercept. And our slope is actually 10 over 1. So you could put 10 over 1. When it's a whole number, you don't have to write the over 1, so I'm just going to put 10.